Okay, welcome everybody to the first episode of Multimedia Masters. Let's cue that theme song. Multimedia Masters, they're the masters of all media. Talking about the movies and the shows on your TVs. Welcome everybody to the first episode of Multimedia Masters. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew or Matt, and this is the first podcast really that I've ever made in the past 15 years, maybe. I think I made one when I was like 10 years old, but now I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to make my own kind of show going, you know. And I am joined here by my co-host. Do you want to introduce yourself, co-host?
Hi everyone, my name is Justin Hunt. I'm actually Australian, so big time zone difference here.
Yeah,
I have actually been on a podcast once before, but not as a host. Definitely not as a co-host either. I was just a guest at the time, so I guess I have a little bit of experience there too. So that's kind of cool.
yeah, you were
And
like a
I write
guest. That's
books.
cool.
Yeah, I was actually a guest because of my books. Because I've got two books currently published, and yeah, just trying to obviously get more out there published so for the world to see.
Definitely, yeah. Do you want to talk a bit about your books now, or do you want to do it later?
I figure we may as well do it later.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So, what we're kind of doing with this show here, Multimedia Masters, it's kind of like, it's kind of like your usual movie podcast, but it's, kind of focused on more than just movies, right? Like we do TV shows, we do fun kind of segments about movies. Like we're not just going to talk to you about, our general thoughts about a movie. We're going to go like kind of like a deep dive into them. We're going to look at specific scenes in the movie. We're going to talk about some things from our childhood, movies that we love from our childhood, right? Like something that you might have not heard of in a while that maybe you think is underrated. We'll talk about that in future episodes, maybe, unless we think of one today. We'll see. But what I want to do, I want us to start off with like kind of like a what's going on kind of thing with celebrities around here. Do you have any celebrity news that you collected or what?
Well, I think the biggest news at the moment is obviously the passing of Chuck Norris.
Yep,
Um, I think we all know that he was. I call him the living meme because
definitely. Yeah.
quite literally everyone knew him just basically from the memes, the big things like Chuck Norris couldn't defeat death and all that sort of stuff. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
he
rest in
didn't die.
peace.
He chose to go up or wherever he went. I don't know. Who knows? You know? But yeah, growing up, like I don't know how it was when like with I don't know if that meme was in Australia. Probably right. Probably all around the world. But yeah, growing
We
up, it was
definitely
huge.
we definitely know about the memes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was huge. Like especially like around the time of like early like Instagram and stuff and like iFunny. I don't know if you remember iFunny, but it was like the one of the first like meme apps in the whole world, and it was all Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris doesn't get drunk. I don't know. He convinces alcohol to have a good time. I don't know. It's just stuff like that, you know. But yeah, that was kind of like one of the big headlines. That was maybe like a week ago. We were a little late with this episode, but that's okay. It's our first episode, and then we'll be a little more on top of it for the next one, you know? And then another thing I noticed with all these trailers out there, right? The Dune 3 trailer. Did you watch that one?
Yes, I did see it.
It looks
I'm actually.
amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. It looks fantastic.
I love those movies. Like, did you watch the first two?
I saw the first one. I unfortunately I missed the second one.
Oh, the second one's way better.
Is it? Okay.
Way better,
Uh,
yeah.
I'll have to take your word on that one.
Yeah, you should watch it maybe to prepare for the third one. We'll do an
Hmm.
episode about that. That'll be sweet. But yeah, I was watching the trailer, and who do you got in there? You got Zendaya. Okay, Zendaya's having a huge, huge year. You have Robert Pattinson, right? Even having maybe just as good of a year, maybe even better. He's got Dune 3. He's got the drama coming out, which is like a kind of like, a drama movie with Zendaya. So they're in that together. And then Avengers Doomsday is coming out, which is going to probably have Zendaya. I don't know. We'll see. Um, and Batman 2 is coming up. Rob Pattinson. The Odyssey, which they're both in, right? These guys are having the golden year. The golden year. And that's, you know what, good for them. That's pretty
That's a
cool.
good lineup. It's a really good lineup of movies, isn't it?
Yeah, and probably like 5 years ago, they were maybe in like a movie every 2 years, and now they're just popping off. Like they're going into the stratosphere here.
I think of those that you listed, I'm most obviously looking forward to Doomsday the most.
Yeah.
But secondly would be the Odyssey because I actually read the original book, and I thought it was really really good. So I'm fascinated to see what they do with the movie.
Oh, really? You read the original book?
Yeah,
I-
yeah, it's breathtaking.
Is it like hard to understand because it's so old? Like, do they translate it well?
Some of it is a bit hard to understand.
Yeah,
I
I
will
can
give you that.
imagine. Yeah, I always wanted to try it, but I feel like it would be like reading Shakespeare, like just like a different language. But maybe I'll give it a shot around the movie coming out. But this episode, it's not about the Odyssey, right? What's it about? What's this whole episode about right now?
So we're going to be looking at a fairly recent movie. Um, it is called Song Sung Blues,
Mm,
starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. Uh, from what I understand, it is actually a remake or something like that from
mm-hmm.
a 2008 documentary. Um, and it seems to me about a couple who do impressionists, like they do singing impressions of famous people.
Yeah.
And these two mainly focus on Neil Diamond. And they called their act Lightning and Thunder, which I thought was really cool. I actually really liked that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And like Lightning was like Hugh Jackman's character. Like Lightning was like his original persona, and he viewed Neil Diamond as like this like perfect like it's like his hero, and he's an impersonator, right? And he works with all these other impersonators, and I found it funny how they were like, "Well, if you like Neil Diamond so much, why don't you impersonate him?" And Hugh Jackman was just like, "No, like I worship him too much. Like I'm not even gonna
Yes,
try."
I remember that. I was thinking to myself, really?
Yeah,
The guy who does impressionists doesn't want to do an impression of Neil Diamond
yeah, the
because he
biggest Neil
holds
Diamond
him
fan.
too high of a regard. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
that was
okay?
funny. Yeah, but yeah, no, they both come together and they meet each other and they're very charming. Like I loved their chemistry, like both of them. And like Hugh Jackman's kind of the first one you meet in this movie, and you kind of just fall in love with him just from the first scene, right? He's doing like that monologue at the beginning. Spoilers, by the way, for this movie, but it's been out for what, like months, you know? Yeah, he's doing this speech in front of his Alcoholics Anonymous group, and it's just like great. Like the camera's right in his face, and he's like introducing, the titular song, "Song Sung Blue." And yeah, he just really gets into the character. Like it's great. And yeah, you're right. This movie is based on a 2008 documentary, and the director watched the documentary, and I guess he like I have like some trivia here, but apparently he immediately called up like the people who made the documentary, and he's like, I want to make a movie about these guys. Like they're so charming and interesting. And later, very sad. I did not expect how sad this movie got. Did you know? Did you know how
No,
sad it got?
No, when I went to see the movie, I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about it at all. I didn't even know it was based on a documentary. I went into it with complete blind reaction, and I actually really enjoyed it. But you are right, it had some very sad moments, and honestly, like the way it was sort of filmed, in my opinion at least, it felt like it felt like more like almost a true crime documentary in a way,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And I think it's able to be so sad because at the beginning it's so happy, right? Like if a movie's sad all the way through, you're just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, this is a sad movie. But first they set you up with this charming, cute, adorable couple and their family, and then just constant big life problems, health issues, injuries, addiction, all of these things just completely running through this family. And it's devastating. Like, but it's also like kind of feel good because you're seeing like how they deal with it together. And like that's what family is all about, you know? It's about, all the bad things you're gonna go through and they gotta turn it into something good, right?
Yeah, I agree, and I think, like you say, Kate and Hugh, they portrayed those people perfectly. You know, you could definitely feel their emotions for one another, the frustrations that they went through, everything like that. It was just so amazing to see it all come to life.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought like this isn't really like a family situation that you see a lot of in movies, like the single mom and the kids that are a little older, they're able to kind of take care of themselves and take care of the mom. And I thought that was really cool to see in this movie. Like Kate Hudson's character, her daughter, was one of like my favorite characters in the movie. Like, and in other movies, I might find a character like that like annoying, like oh, this teenage daughter, whatever, get out of here. But in this movie, like she's like kind of like the heart of the movie. Like she is very open, not at first to Hugh Jackman's character, but he kind of brings them together, and they have a great relationship, those two.
I agree. Absolutely 100% agree. My only issue with the movie like was I don't know if you got it, but I kind of had an issue with the pacing of the movie. Like
Yeah, I
to
could see
me,
that.
everything kind of felt a little bit too fast paced. You know, they met up, and then within like 2 or 3 scenes later, they're suddenly dating full on,
Yeah,
and then there was the whole wedding thing, and then they're actually married. It just like at times it felt like it was really um too fast paced, and it just needed a bit of time to breathe. I think at times
yeah.
that that's what I thought at
I
times. So
definitely, yeah, I definitely see your point. Yeah. I guess it could kind of be like in life, like in real life, all those happy moments are going to seem like they fly by, right? But when you have tough moments like health issues and that kind of feels like it's forever. So maybe they were kind of going for something like that. But like I agree. Yeah, it was kind of just like, all right, this guy's name is Mike Sardina or whatever his name is. This is Claire. They just met. Now they're kissing. Bing bang boom. You know, moving in together and all that. So yeah, it is kind of quick. And also the kids, Claire's kids, that's her name, right? Claire? Yeah.
that's right.
Claire's kids call him Papa in like the second scene that they're in together. I was like, geez,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
it
little
was
quick.
way too quick, way too quick.
Yeah.
Well, like that was the boy, right? Like the boy was the one that got onto that fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But I can sort of understand it. One thing that I had a little bit of trouble with myself, when I like, because again, I went into this knowing nothing. Like I didn't even know it was a real life thing. Like I
Mhm.
didn't know these people were real people. Um, was that I had a lot of trouble depicting like where was this based? Where was this filmed?
Mm.
Because I at first I thought, oh, is it supposed to be based in the early '80s? Because there was a lot of old, what we would see as old technology now.
Right. Yeah.
But but there was also like people holding cameras, video cameras going around, that sort of stuff, and I'm thinking, where is this? Like, and there was cars, and or like it was just it was a little bit hard for me to really get onto that, which I think for me personally kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. But I was able
Okay.
to get back into it with the love story and like you said, the kids were great. My personal favorite character of the kids was actually the boy, um,
He was a cute
because
kid, yeah.
he was a really good actor. Like I don't know the name of that young boy, but whoever he is, he just absolutely wonderful kid, wonderful actor. One thing that kept me laughing in the movie was that he would go around like he was the filmer, he was the
Hmm.
documentary taker, if you will, right? Um, but there would be times where you could see him moving the video camera around, like just absolutely wonky everywhere, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, kid, if you're really going to be a professional documentary filmmaker,
You got to steady the
that is not the
camera.
way. You gotta study. You gotta make sure it's in the right position and all that. But at the same time, I understand because he was a young kid. He was still getting used to it. But
Hmm.
yeah, that made me laugh. Seeing that was good.
That was funny, yeah. And yeah, him like recording everything, it led to that sweet moment at the end where he's watching back the tape of Mike, and that was really sweet. He was like singing to him at the end, and they'll always remember him. That's really sweet. And I know what you mean. The setting is kind of hard to pinpoint, and I had that same issue. But they throw little hints, like they didn't really make it obvious, which might have helped if they had maybe like a big title card like 1990 whatever. I thought it was in the 50s for a while. I'm like, okay, 50s. I don't really know when. Like, Neil Diamond is kind of before my time, so I don't really know what time it was. But then they said like Pearl Jam because they performed with Pearl Jam. I'm like, oh,
That's
okay,
right.
so this is like the 90s then, because that's like a famous 90s band, right? But yeah, that was really cool. I loved seeing like them performing with other artists and stuff, and thinking back on like the past biopics that we've been getting lately, because this has been a biopic, renaissance lately, eh? Bob Dylan. What else did we get? We got Bob
We got
Dylan,
Elvis. We got an Elvis
Elvis. Yep,
movie out. I think there's a Michael Jackson one too.
definitely, yeah. And I thought this movie was really refreshing because all of these recent biopics lately have been about like the tortured artist. Like, oh, I'm just trying to put my art out here and nobody's understanding me. These people just want fun music, and it's about like this tortured artist mentality. In this movie, it's just about some nice people who want to give fun music to other people, and I thought that was really refreshing and happy. Like he worked in like a karaoke bar for a bit, and all he cared about was just making people happy through music and singing. And I thought that was really wholesome. I liked how wholesome this movie was.
Yeah, it was incredibly wholesome, and I like that about it too.
Yeah, it's all about just being yourself, right? Like he could have been a Neil Diamond impersonator. I think I said he was an impersonator earlier, but he's not. He's a guy that just does like covers of Neil Diamond, right? Like his name's Lightning. He doesn't pretend to be Neil Diamond. He
No,
just
he's
does
his
like
own.
tributes.
Yeah, he's his own creation, but he focuses a lot on the Neil Diamond stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about just, being yourself, the importance of being yourself, and it's never too late to be happy, right? Like they were older. I think they were both married in the past, but they still got together. They found happiness. And also they go through all that hardship, right, with their families, and it was just a nice message of like not giving up on your family through hard times, right?
Yeah, I liked that as well. I thought that was really well done.
What did you think of their performances?
I think if I'm being perfectly honest about Hugh Jackman's performance, he did a good job being the the impressionist, the he was trying to be the sort of showcasing, oh, it's all about me type person.
Hmm.
But he also was trying to be a dad, also trying to be a good husband. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But I think he did better at being the impressionist than he was as a father, if I'm being honest. Like,
Okay.
he was good as the husband and he was good as the impressionist. Maybe they could have been a little bit better as the father, because I feel like they focused a lot on his interaction with the wife and with his own business, like the lightning and fun and fat. I get that. I get that. That was the main part of it. But I would have liked to have seen a few more scenes where he was trying to interact with the kids,
Hmm.
trying to understand them. They were there, absolutely. They were there. I
Yeah.
just wish there was a little bit more.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, there was just like a couple scenes like he helped the daughter a bit with her car and all that. But yeah, I guess they could have focused more on that, definitely. But maybe they didn't want to. Maybe it was more just, about lightning and thunder, and maybe they could just say, "Oh, the kids love them," and they don't really want to show it, which I guess it's fine. But yeah, you're right. Maybe they should have focused on that a bit more. But yeah, I thought he was great as like an artist, kind of he's not famous, right? Like even at the height of the movie, they're not that famous. Like they're like a local sensation. And I thought that was really cute to like see how happy they are just in like small victories like that. And talking about their performances, I think their accents are great. It's like a Western Midwest kind of town, and they talk like they got that twang in their voice.
Oh, they fit that perfectly. That that
Yeah.
was that was pitch. That was pitch perfect.
Yeah, it was great. Especially like Kate Hudson, she was great doing that. And I loved Kate Hudson in this movie. Like she's adorable, and she was just such like a great supportive like wife, playing a supportive wife, which was awesome. I got a couple notes on her. Oh, Kate and Hugh, they have great chemistry. Like they were very adorable. I shipped them. They were great. Her singing is great. Hugh singing. I mean, come on, it's Hugh Jackman, right? You think you're going into a movie where Hugh Jackman sings and he's not going to do good? He's doing good, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he's amazing. And I never really heard the original, like the real guy sing, but he's amazing. Like he's the showman, right? He's the greatest showman, and he acts like it. He sings like it. Um, yeah. Let's talk about our favorite scene. All right. There's a lot of
Ooh,
scenes in this movie. Which ones really stood out to you? Which one was your favorite?
my absolute favorite scene. Ooh, that's a tough one. Uh,
I can go
I'm gonna
first if
have
you'd like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So my favorite scene was kind of towards the beginning, but it kind of showed their relationship amazingly. It's when they're planning their whole Neil Diamond act and practicing and coming up with the interpreter term, which is like Hugh Jackman was like, I don't want to be an impressionist, and I'm not a Neil Diamond impressionist, and Kate Hudson's like, no, you're a Diamond interpreter, and they're kind of just coming up with the idea of a tribute band and being yourself, and it showed how well they worked together as a couple and supporting each other. And I'm always just a sucker for scenes about creating music and showing all the little details and steps, like when Claire was like setting up her keyboard and setting the tempo and jumping into the song. Like I love stuff like that. Like it's great. And like whenever I think back on the movie, I'm thinking of that scene. I'm also thinking of when Hugh Jackman sings song blue, everybody needs one at the end. That was great.
That was
Uh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great song, great scene. What was your favorite scene?
Well, I think my absolute favorite scene, um, has to be when he's in the karaoke bar. He's singing with the karaoke bar owner.
Hmm.
Because you could see like you can tell that they're both really sad, but they're trying to get by. They're trying to get by through through singing, through what they recognize. You don't really know much about the owner of that bar, but it just in that small amount of time, you get the idea that he lost someone that he loved, and obviously Hugh Jackman is going through a lot as well. Like Hugh Jackman's character is going through a lot as well, and, and it's all conveyed in this one scene of them in that bar. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that was really nice, and that was at like kind of like a low point in their life. Like I think that was when his wife was like injured, right, and she wasn't singing yet, and he was working at the karaoke bar, so it was like kind of like them getting through it together. That was really nice. It's a really good scene.
Yeah,
Okay,
I thought
now
so.
I want us to talk about our top two side characters, okay?
Right.
Obviously, obviously Mike and Claire are going to be, the standouts, but I want us to go past that and look at the supporting cast, right? I got my two top side characters, and maybe I'll do one, you do one, I'll do another one, you do another one. You want to try that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, my first one is his name is Tom Atto, which I realized when you put it together, it's just the word tomato, right? So that's pretty funny. His name's Tom Atto, and that's not even the reason why he's my favorite character, but that's just a funny. When I wrote that down, I was like, oh, his name is just Tomato, right? And he's the guy played by Jim Belushi, and he's kind of like Hugh Jackman's manager, like one of his managers. I don't know if you like recognize him. I don't know if you know. Do you know who Jim Belushi is?
I recognize the name, but I probably wouldn't recognize the face.
Yeah, he was in like a sitcom a long time ago, and I recognize him. I'm like, oh my god, I completely forgot about Jim Belushi, and he's right here, and he's so funny. His accent, like he does like this like Midwestern accent, so goofy and good. He was like hilarious. His facial expressions, like he's acting like a cartoon character this whole time. Like he's acting like Daffy Duck, and it was hilarious. And he was just like this, like he believed in Mike and Claire so much. Like he was just like a nice person on their team. Like he was very
Was he
memorable.
was he the dentist?
No, I like that dentist guy. He was good, but he was just like that guy at the club. I think he owned like a venue, and
Oh, that's
he,
right. He was the one that they made a deal with or something like that at some
yeah,
point in the movie. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay. So that's Jim Belushi. Okay, yeah. I remember I remember them making deals with someone and like, oh, they're making a big deal about this deal, funnily
Hmm.
enough, and I'm like, who is this guy that they're talking to? Because he looked kind of familiar, but again, I don't really recognize Jim Belushi to be perfectly honest. So, like in the back of my head, I was like, I feel like I recognize him, but I just can't place it.
Yeah, that's
But
probably him.
yes,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense now.
He was that guy where kind of towards the beginning they were singing him this Suleiman song. He's like
Oh yes,
Suleiman, and he's like, "What is that, Swahili?" And he's that guy. He's just like the goofy guy.
yeah,
Who's your
okay.
top side character?
Well, funnily enough, my top side character would probably be the dentist.
Oh yeah, he was great. Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, he just had this kind of cute, like you said before, sort of supportive atmosphere about him. I know he wasn't really in the movie that much, but he was still pretty cool. I really liked him. I thought he was done well in the movie.
I thought it was really funny how his dentist was his manager. Like he was just kind of doing both jobs.
Yeah, just casually, oh, who's that guy? Oh, that's my dentist. Isn't he also your manager? Yeah, that's who.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like fixing up his teeth, and he was like, "So, by the way, I booked you this gig at this venue." It was funny. That was great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the dentist?
Um, I like how he like just casually have planning conversations with Hugh Jackman's character while checking on his teeth. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, I liked a lot of the side cast, the supporting characters. They were great. And most of them were just like kind of fans of Mike and Claire. But yeah, they were very nice. And then my other top side characters, Claire's daughter. I kind of forget her name. Do you remember her name? Claire's daughter?
I feel like it was Rachel.
Rachel? Okay, well then Rachel's my top two character. I thought she was really like I talked about her a little bit earlier, but yeah, she's like the heart of the movie. I thought she was really a realistic portrayal of like a child of divorce and having to be strong during family issues that you're not in control of. Like all this stuff was happening around her. Her mom had to amputate her leg and she was having trouble with mental health and the financial issues and she had to pick up a job and then she got pregnant and all this stuff was going down and like she still was strong and she took help from Hugh Jackman and other characters, but that's what family's all about, right?
Yeah, I actually would definitely go for her as my second one as well. I liked how like typical when like in these sort of situations when the parent is remarrying, you have the typical teenage response where it's like, oh, they'll never be as good as the original, that sort
Yeah,
of thing. Or I'm not gonna look at you as my mom or dad. I'm just gonna look at you as just a person that's passing by, sort of thing. And they did that with Rachel's character in this movie for a little while, but she did get like she got over that eventually, and she like hung out with Hugh's character and all that sort of stuff. And like you say, she developed as a character throughout the movie. She had all this stuff being thrown at her, and I like for a teenager, that's for an adult, that's a lot. But all this happening to a teenager, it would be even more so. Like it would be a lot worse. So I feel like she really captured that really well.
definitely. Yeah, and yeah, that you talked about her like kind of being closed off at first and then opening up slowly. Like that's very realistic because like when your parents are divorced and then someone new comes in, you don't know them, right? Especially when they're as handsome as Hugh Jackman. I mean, come on. This guy is handsome and he's huge. He's a huge jacked man. Hugh Jackman, right? She had to kind of open up a little bit and trust him over time, and that's how it is in real life. So very, very realistic. Not that this movie needs to be realistic. I mean, it kind of does because it's based on real people, but still, I thought it was a very, very nice story about family and finding a new family and losing family. Spoilers alert. Let's look at
I thought
some.
it
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
thought it was yeah, no, you all good, all good. I thought it was funny that anytime someone asked Hugh Jackman's character, "Oh, how are you going?" he would say, "I'm huge." I love that.
Oh
I
yeah, that
thought
was
it
that
was
was
funny.
hilarious. I'm huge. I'm Hugh Jackman. Yeah, that was funny. That's probably like maybe he said that in real life. I don't know. But yeah, he's kind of like he refused to tell anybody about his issues. He died because he had this head injury and he refused to get any help. So if you hit your head, everybody listening, if you hit your head, go to the doctor, right? Because he never got to meet Neil Diamond because he didn't go to the doctor. So go to the doctor and you'll be okay. Let's look at some.
Especially if your head is bleeding. I mean, seriously, that was a
Yeah,
pretty bad hit.
literally in the car, ready to meet Neil Diamond, and that's when he dies. I wonder if that actually happened in real life. If it was
Yeah, I don't
right
know.
down to the minute, that'd be crazy.
So let's
Let's
look at the trivia.
let's look at some trivia. Yeah, so I got some trivia here. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson, they do all their own singing in this movie. So a lot of other movies, maybe you get maybe it's a Greatest Showman situation, right? Never enough in the Greatest Showman. It's Rebecca Ferguson acting with somebody else singing. That doesn't happen in this movie, okay? These two stars are putting their all into these performances, and they're great. Okay, another piece of trivia: Craig Brewer, the director, he watched the documentary Song Sung Blue from 2008. What is that? 15, 12 years ago? I don't know. No, not 12 years ago. That's like 19, I don't know, 18 years ago, I think. At the Indie Memphis Film Festival in 2008. And he emailed the director of the documentary in 2023 to option the rights for a scripted remake film. I don't think that usually happens, like a scripted remake of a documentary. That's pretty cool. Do you have the
I
trivia
can't
too?
say I can't say that I've heard of that situation before myself. Actually, uh, I mean, it probably has been done before,
Probably,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think that's really cool.
That probably
Um,
happens with like a lot of true crime stuff, eh?
yeah, well, probably most likely.
Mhm.
I have something here that, according to it's not trivia, but it is on the Wikipedia. Um, let's see. That Jackman and Craig, they traveled to Wisconsin to promote the film. Uh, and apparently there was like a frozen custard flavor that was called Song Sung Blueberry in
Oh, really?
relation to it. So
That's
that's
funny.
interesting.
I'd try that. That sounds pretty good. Song Sung Blueberry. Another piece of trivia is this director also did Dolomite is My Name from 2019, which is also based on a real guy, a real performer. Uh, I don't know. I forget if Dolomite is the guy's name or the character's name, but yeah, it's kind of based on another like not super famous guy, but kind of like if you know him, you know he's a big deal, right? Like he kind of this director kind of does really good work, and that was a really good movie. Dolomite is My Name. Like I watched it, it was great. But maybe this director's sweet spot is like in kind of local, not local, but like B list, I guess, B list legends. You know?
Yeah, okay.
You got any other trivia?
Let's have a look. Uh, not at the moment.
I got
Not that I
one
can.
more.
All right.
So there is a scene in this movie where an episode of the TV show The Nanny is playing. Right, this is the '90s. The Nanny is a '90s TV show, and
I remember
on
that.
the TV is the actor James Marsden when he was a little kid, and he's very famous now. He played Cyclops. He's in Sonic. He's in that new show Jury Duty. And yeah, he was with Hugh Jackman in the X-Men films. Like they know each other, and they put him in the movie, so that's pretty cool. Let's
Yeah.
get to the big ticket event for today. Okay, not the big ticket, but the big finale, the awards. The awards for the movie. What should we name our awards, right? There's Oscars, there's Grammys. What should we call our podcast
Hmm.
awards?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um,
Multimedia's something? The multis?
multimedia, the multi Marvels.
The multi Marvels?
Yeah, like Marvel. No,
Marvels. Yeah, we could do that. Let's give some multi Marvels away. All right, who's going to get these multi Marvels? I mean, we know who's going to get it. The movie's getting it. But what awards is it going to get? The first award I'm going to give this movie, right? Very big deal. Very big deal. Okay? The most Hugh Jackman performance of the year goes to
absolutely.
this movie, right? Hugh Jackman. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but you know, you get the highs of the greatest showman, you get the lows of his more dramatic work, like Prisoners. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but he's great in that movie. But yeah, what awards would you like to give?
Hmm. I think one of the ones I'd like to give is the best dentist awards.
Ooh, yep, that was a good dentist. Very multitasking, that guy.
I just love the fact that he's like, "Oh, I'm your manager now." You, you-
Yeah, he's making money, that guy. I respect it. Very good
you
dentist. I would
have you
like,
got any more?
yeah, I would like to award this movie the Make You Care About Something You Might Have Never Thought About award, right? Tribute bands, local bands. These are kind of things that you don't really care about, right? You're focused on the A-listers. I don't know who's an A-list celebrity. Brad Pitt, right? Those kind of people, the famous, famous, famous people. It's easy to forget the local legends, okay? But this movie kind of reminds you, like, oh, those are actually really important. Those local legends, because they're real people. You relate to them. You can see them. You can hear them. You can just walk down to the local bar, and humble artists like that are very important to art, right?
Yeah, and you don't really, like you say, you don't really see that sort of thing being made into a full-on movie.
Definitely, yeah. Do you have an award?
I uh well, I was just thinking of one. You're probably gonna be like, why would you say it like that? But
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say, I'm giving this movie the sh filmed like a horror movie awards at times,
Filmed like a horror
and
movie?
filmed like a horror movie. Yes, so
Interesting. Okay.
so hear me out on this one. Uh, I mentioned before that I didn't know anything about this movie going into it, so I didn't know it was based on a true story or anything like that. And so when um spoilers for the movie, when the wife gets hit uh and she has to have her leg amputated,
Mhm.
they kind of do this thing where you like they shoot it and you can see the inside of the house, and they do a pan across to the window at the front of the house, and it just looks like a normal day. And Kate's character's in the garden, she's doing her thing in the garden, and just casually a car comes out of the background and swerves in and then hits, and it's just like the way it was shot in that
Oh yeah.
moment. It was like it felt like a horror movie. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like it didn't feel like um a romancy or a true life documentary or anything like that. It felt like more of a horror movie. And then it happened again, like
Yeah.
with the idea of her almost getting hit by another car, right? So, cut to a little bit later in the movie where she is outside again, except this time she actually starts to walk away, and then a car hits exactly where she was, and it felt like a jump scare moment. And
Mhm.
that's what I mean. It's like you have these moments where it's filmed almost like a horror movie, and I'm like I'll be honest, for basically the rest of the movie after that second car hit the house, I was clenching the seat waiting for it to happen again. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's gotta happen again. It's like cursed or something. Like
That was
that's
scary. Yeah.
that's what it felt like. So that's my personal opinion. I don't know how anyone else feels about it, but that's just how I see. It's no bad thing for the movie at all,
No, yeah, you're
but
supposed to feel scared.
yeah, because this is a real life accident that actually happened, and yeah, it feels scary. Obviously, I just feel like it was filmed and shot in such a way that almost turned it into a horror movie, and that's why I'm
Mhm.
giving it this award.
I think it deserves that award, definitely, yeah. And there was no like music playing during that scene, like it was like creepy, like that car, you could just see it coming and there was no like music, like it was just like silent, like it was really creepy. You're right. I would
Hmm.
also like to award this movie, but this is my last award, and then we're gonna call it a show. This is my worst marriage proposal award, and I would love to give it to Mr. Mike Sardina, Hugh Jackman, because buddy, you're not supposed to tell her, dude. Okay? You don't go, yeah, I was gonna propose. You don't do that. You get down on one knee and you propose. Okay? It's supposed to
And
be a
especially not
surprise.
during such a heated argument as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of seemed like manipulative, kind of like she was mad at him. And then he's like, well, guess you don't want me to marry you then. Like, buddy, come on. Go through the fight a little bit. Don't just, use the proposal to end the fight. Yeah, worst marriage
But
proposal.
but she still says yes.
She does say yes, yep. And they do have a good life together, so that's good. Yeah, that was my last award. Do you have any more awards you would like to give Song Sung Blue?
I do have one last one. I think you'll probably laugh at this one. It's craziest cameraman ever, and I think that goes to the young boy in the movie. I can't remember his name, but the young boy when he's doing like his documentary filming, it's just absolute mayhem
Yeah,
with it waving around everywhere.
I think his name was Dana.
Dana, was it Dana?
Dana, I remember it being like kind of like a female name, kind of. But yeah, he had a crazy camera hand, that guy.
Yeah, I thought so too. Um, but it was kind of cool because you could see like he was obviously still trying to learn the craft as he was going.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
maybe he became a famous camera operator.
yeah, maybe, or maybe he became a particularly famous documentary filmmaker as well. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah, maybe he turned out to be Steven Spielberg. Who knows? Right? Okay, yeah, that's our episode for today. That's our first premiere episode. Thank you for joining me so much, man. I hope you come for the next one.
Oh, it's been amazing. Thank you for having me.
We'll try to decide what to do next. Maybe we'll do a more current movie, or maybe we'll do a childhood movie. We'll see. We'll agree on something, or maybe we'll both bring one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we will see you on the next Multimedia Masters. And yeah, you do you want to do you want to plug your book a little bit?
Oh yes. So my book is called The Freyon Fables. It is a series. There's currently two books in the series out at the moment. I'm about to release the third one. It's probably going to be released in April or May. Most likely May. And in the entirety of the series is going to have 21 books, so it's a big one, a big
Wow.
series. I've been working on it for a long time, and I've been trying to get it out there, trying to get it finished and published for everyone to read. And yeah, so the first one is called Rise to the Challenge. The second one is called Trials of the Trees. And I will be leaving links to those books in the description of the YouTube channel. And
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely go and check them out. It was, obviously in this day of age where everything's, almost entirely made of AI,
Yeah.
artists like us, we need to get all the support we can get.
Definitely. Yeah. Everybody go check out his books. I'm sure they're very human, very great. They sound very interesting. Are they like sci-fi?
Actually, it's a fantasy series.
Oh,
Like if you
fantasy.
think, if you think, like Chronicles of Narnia, but with
Oh, very
like
cool.
it's kind of like Chronicles of Narnia, but with more magic, more epicness to it, I guess.
Ooh,
And
epic.
there's no real like there's no Christian metaphors or anything like that to be hammered into people's heads or anything
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that. Um, and the first season, which is what I'm currently working on right now, um, is going to be compiled of six books, and it's all going to be following like this squirrel named Mickling, and it's going to look at his ventures throughout this magical world.
Interesting. Okay. I like an animal protagonist. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining us. Everybody, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Make sure you turn your notifications on and like the video. and tune in for the next one. This has been Multimedia Masters, and we will see you later.
See you around.